So, let's talk about the Swampfox Arrowhead 1 to 8. Low-powered variable optics are all the rage today. So let's go over some of the features, and I'll show you why I decided it was right for me. This is a second focal plane optic, which means the reticle stays the same size whether or not you're at 1 power or zoomed all the way at 8 power. There's two types of reticles, the Gorilla.BDC and the Gorilla.MOA. I wanted the option to use this on different kinds of rifles, different kinds of calibers, so I went with the MOA. If you're mainly shooting 5.56, 223, 308, the BDC is actually made for those calibers. This optic weighs a little over 20 ounces, is a little over 10.5 inches long, and is IPX7 waterproof rated, so it's fairly water resistant to the elements. This optic has 12 daytime brightness settings, 2 night vision settings, lights up the whole reticle, and runs on one 2032 battery. This is an open turret design with half MOA adjustments, and another thing to keep in mind is that this optic does not come with a mount. However, I did purchase this as a package, and it cost me roughly, I want to say about 400 bucks for both the mount and the optic. One thing that does set this optic apart from others is the throw lever. You can attach it in different spots. It's attached with 4 screws, so it's very strong, and you can kind of set where you want the throw and your magnification. I really like that ability to adjust it. The throw lever is very smooth, it has no grip, and it has a little bit of resistance, but you can still change magnification pretty easily. This optic does come with plastic lens covers. Nothing to write home about, nothing special, but they are included. So there are a lot of 1 to 6 low-powered variable optics out there. You know, primary arms, you have Vortex Strike Eagle, and then some 1 to 8s that are pretty good. Got the EOTech Voodoo, Trigicon AccuPoint. I know Raiden Optics makes one. Swampfox even makes a more budget-friendly Tomahawk, which is a 1 to 6. Most of the 1 to 6s will run you roughly about $300. Most of your 1 to 8s are going to run you 4 to 5. There really are a lot of options out there, so it was kind of hard to choose. I almost went with the primary arms 1 to 6 with the ACSS reticle. The Swampfox's BDC reticle is really good, but I didn't want to be limited to just certain calibers. That's why I chose the MOA. But if I had my choice, I'd choose the Swampfox Arrowhead with the primary arms ACSS reticle. Another really good option was the Vortex Strike Eagle, which is at about the $300 price point, and I almost chose that only because of Vortex's their warranty is really good. I believe they have a lifetime warranty. Now Swampfox, they do have a very good warranty. I can't tell you off the top of my head what it is, but it's an American-owned company, and I really like to support American-owned companies. One thing that does set this apart from some of the other low-powered variable optics is that this entire reticle does light up, which can be a plus because you can see your entire reticle system no matter if it's daytime bright or at night, but at the same time when it lights up your entire reticle, it's going to drain that battery a little bit faster, and it's only running on one 2032, so I like to change out my battery probably once every 3 to 6 months, depending, and it's kind of dependent on how much you use it. This is definitely a mid-tier optic in the grand scheme of low-powered variable optics. I wanted a higher power than a 6 times magnification, and that's only because I wanted to shoot out distances longer than about 300 yards, and with an 8 times it makes it a lot easier than a 6 times. If you're going to 8 times, that really does put you in that mid-tier price range. But I really wanted to stay out of the, $1,200 to $1,800 price range, like the Vortex Razor and that Sig Sauer 1 to 6 that the United States Army has just adopted. That's just way too much money for me to invest into an optic. I don't know about you, but I'm just a blue-collar worker. I barely make $30,000 a year. I don't have any affiliation with Swampfox. Swampfox did not send me this optic for free. I saved up my own hard-earned money for weeks and weeks and weeks in order to afford this optic. So when when that happens, I feel like as a consumer, you want to make sure that you're making a really good choice in the whatever purchase that you're making. And when it's your own hard-earned cash, and I don't have some optic company or gun company sending me free stuff to review, it makes it so that I'm a lot more informed on my purchase. So far, I'm overall very pleased with the purchase of this optic. Another thing that I like to add on is the customer support. Through Swampfox, I've had a little bit of correspondence with customer service, just asking them some general questions. I have purchased another optic through them. I had some issues with shipping, but customer service was very accommodating, very nice, very professional, and I do tend to think that adds value to whatever optic that you're buying. I'm unsure of companies like EOTech or Primary Arms, but I do know companies like Vortex are very good, and Swampfox has been a very good customer service experience for me as well. I have had this optic on a various amount of rifles in different calibers, all on the AR platform. I've had it on a 7.62x39, a 223 Wild, which is in the video and in pictures, and I've had it on a 300 Blackout as well. It's held zero. It was easy to zero. I've done the box test on the 223 Wild, which you adjust the windage and elevation in a box format to see if it will return to zero. It did return to zero, so it's a very good quality optic. I always like a good deal, and when I was shopping for a low power variable optic, I had a slew of optics that were on my list. I had done my due diligence and kind of finding out what was going to fit me the most. There are a lot of really good options out there, so I did sign up for newsletters. I looked for sales, through Optics Planet, through Brownells, AR-15 discounts. A one site that I really do like to use, now granted it does not have any Swampfox products on it, is DAC Outdoors or Locked and Loaded. They do offer some of the lowest prices I've seen on gun parts. If you can find them, they're pretty limited. But I am a sucker for a good deal, and when shopping around, if you can wait till a holiday, a lot of major websites do offer sales, and save your money. And I'd wait for a sale. I will not purchase optics or big gun purchases on non-sale days. Do not pay full retail for anything, because you can always find it for a good deal or a percentage off. Sometimes you can find discount codes. I know Mr. Guns and Gear and 704 Tactical always have coupon codes. Sometimes I'll try different coupon codes. Optics Planet, you can always get a 5% off with 704 Tactical. I do watch his channel. I'm not trying to plug him or anything, but I am always trying to find a way to save money that'll save you 5%. So if there's a way to save you a little bit of money on some of this stuff, it always helps. But like I said, if you sign up through a newsletter, through the actual manufacturer, like through Swampfox, they'll do flash sales. Vortex does flash sales. Just save your money and wait for a good deal is basically what I'm trying to say. Overall, I'm very happy with the purchase of this optic. It was well worth every bit of $400 to me. Now, $400 to me is a lot of money. It may not be to you, but I'm very careful when I'm making large purchases like this, and I think you should be too. Would I have been mad with the Vortex Strike Eagle? No. Would I have been mad with a Primary Arms ACSS? Absolutely not. But this is kind of the optic that I chose during a certain sale, and I couldn't have been happier with it. I do like the fact that it is 1:8 instead of 1:6. Now granted, when you go out to a higher magnification, your eye relief gets a little tighter, so just kind of keep that in mind, because there are times where I am fighting to find my target when I'm fully magnified with this optic, and I think that's just part of the learning curve on any optic that you get. Now at one times magnification, the eye relief is very good, and your field of view is very good. It almost acts as a red dot. That's kind of the pro of a low-powered variable optic, that it's the best of both worlds. It kind of acts as a red dot at 1 power, and then you can utilize it at a higher magnification for your, longer range shots. With that said, I am very pleased with the overall experience of everything, from the easy use of this optic to the price point to my experience with customer service. So I can absolutely recommend this to anybody who's been looking at it, who's been saving their money for a quality low power variable optic, and that's the Swampfox Arrowhead 1 to 10 Gorilla Dot MOA.